How's it going, YouTubers? Real Bubba Hotep, back once again for another installment of Crucible Crash and Burn. And I did. I crashed and I burned. We'll get into it. You'll see where I made the mistake. And the first mistake was here, in room 2. I bet you thought I was going to say room 1. No, that was the final mistake. But in room 2, I just gave up. Whenever I lost Echo, I said no, and I just ignored it. I should have went in with Guardian. If I would have combat canceled and started again, I probably would have beat it. But I wasn't thinking. Simple, 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 simple. Should have been simple, but I was an airhead. One move with this thing right here cost me the entire match. Stay tuned, you'll find out why. Now, for my first attack, I started in room 2, and I thought everything was going to go okay, and they just got Echo right off the board. It wasn't even close to anything. But I was hanging on. Just barely by a thread. I was hanging on, wanting so bad for Moondragon to take her turn. She was inching ever closer to that abyss, but she was still hanging on. I had hopes, so it was finally my turn. I still wasn't worried. Wanted to put the safeguard on just to give Moondragon that little bit of extra time she needed. And now it was finally Moondragon's turn. And she's going in for the double hit. And I was going to do it, and oh, so close. And a heal up. And that was the game. After this, I just gave up. There was no point. I was done for. So I decided I wasn't going to focus on this room. For my second attack, I went into room 3. It's pretty typical. Sus Annihilator Storm. Sus really shines in this room. I went back to last season, took in Mercs for Money and APOC. Now, I sprung a little bit too early. Word to the wise, unless you really want to stress yourself out, don't special with Old Man Logan before Gore pops off. You lose your regeneration, and you can see how close I was to losing this entire match. I was afraid I was going to have to back out. But with luck, I was able to hang on. And it was just a matter of efficiency, just whittling everybody down. This team is a really good counter for them. But remember, unless you want to stress yourself out, do not use Old Man Logan's special to gain revive before the man that can take revive off goes. After that, it's just a matter of whittling them down. That's it. The revive on Sus makes things more complicated. You just lose points with efficiency. You go and go and go. I want to do the triple hit to get all of them, then focus back on Gladiator. Can't really do much with Sus in stealth, which he stayed the entire battle. Because Sus is a chicken. That's right, I said it in live stream this morning, and I'll say it again. Sus is a chicken. Just sucking up those efficiency points now. Attack after attack after attack. I think I put it in auto. Which reminds me, if you'd like to be part of the conversation and join us on Twitch on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'd be happy to see you. After the double sack in room 4, I brought in my Night Stalkers, going against Orcus. We've seen it before. Nothing new, nothing different. Wanted to get the summon out. Then I focused my attention on Nimrod because I don't like Nimrod. Nimrod can do dirty things to you, so I wanted to get him out of the way first. With Mephisto having the double exhaust, he really doesn't do a whole lot, so I wasn't really worried about him. Lady Deathstrike can go in and give you a hard time. She can wreck your world. But if you can get rid of her before she has a turn, it goes beautifully. Since I lost the sacrifice with Infinity Watch and Echo and decided not to attack Odin Illuminati, that opened up my Superior 6 to use against Spider Society and Lizard. Spider Society is pretty good. They're one of the best to use in the city room, but Spider Society is never a match for Superior 6. Even with Lizard, you can see that it was just a matter of taking them down. It's very efficient. It's very quick. I haven't seen very many fights where Spider Society gives Superior 6 a hard time at all. Spider Slayer comes in with his special and just says goodnight to everybody. Noir is still sticking around because he's pesky, but now coming into room 6, using this season's favorite team, the team that I can't name on YouTube. If you go to twitch.tv/realBubbaHotep, you'll learn the name. If you don't know the name, it's amusing. But what can I say about this fight? Very quick, very to the point. Rewind Strange. Lady Deathstrike does it. My last attack of the day was the Heartbreaker. I'm still heartbroken. I made one mistake, and as soon as I made the mistake, I noticed it, and you'll see it. Right here. Yes, I specialed with Kang when I should have basic. Attacking into Thanos dropped him down just enough to be able to wipe out my entire team. Going to be chewing on that one for a long time. After the fatal mistake, I brought in the 4-piece Immortal with Nightcrawler, and there really wasn't much to it. Went in, I wanted to stun Hardlight, I wanted to stun Thanos. Thanos endgame can still cause some damage, but with the new stats, everyone survived. He couldn't do the same thing he did the first time. This team is fantastic now when Jean Grey comes out tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, I believe, Thursday. They're going to be great. As for my opponent's attack, after the double sack in my room 1, they decided to bring in Night Stalkers. This was an interesting choice. Wanted to hit the ultimate into Miss Marvel Classic, ultimate by Oath. Still having a target because they're on the taunt. They finally clear, but she gets it right back. Now that she's gone, Thanos does his thing once again. This was pretty hairy. I don't know if I would have done that. After a combat cancel in my room 2, he decided to ditch Echo and bring in Guardian. And that's something I should have done if I didn't give up and just decide to use my Superior 6 team. In room number 5, I could have come in here with my own Guardian and things might have gone differently. Chalk it up to me being in a hurry and trying to speed through Crucible. You never want to do that, people. Take the time to actually be able to play the game. Now, even with all of the attacks and even with doing so well in getting Captain Britain down, he still combat canceled for the last attack. So it seems that he had a hard time with my Odin. He still couldn't clear this room. I believe if you want Odin Illuminati on defense, put him in room 2. Now in my room 3, I did the same thing that he did, but he decided to take in Ultimus and APOC instead of the Mercs for Money APOC. I'm interested to see how much more efficient it was, how better it was. It seems that this might be the way to go. Cabal is getting more attacks in. They're not struggling as much as Mercs for Money does. And Cabal and Apocalypse are both able to stop a revive. If they kill somebody, they don't revive. He didn't have near part of a time as I did on Super Scroll. So I might remember this and take it in when I come across this next time. I have a feeling this defense is going to be here for a while. Yes, Cabal Ultimus APOC made light work of this. He has much better efficiency than I did. In room 4, the team that I wish I would have had the time to change, he decided to bring in Kang and Hive Mind. And it seems like they're doing just as good as New Warriors did. I suggest you don't take this team in. This team is a big loser from start to finish. They don't get a turn, and they're just not going to be great for Cosmic Crucible. Hopefully they do better in war. Hit the turn rewind, she's gone. That only leaves Scarlet Witch, and now Scarlet Witch is gone. Taking in Mercs for Money and Black Knight against my Spider Society Lizard. It's a thing. I've never really seen this before. I would have had different thoughts about it. Instead of using the Night Stalkers, he might have had an easier time and won. If he would have used the Black Knight, he could have used Old Man Logan, Cosmic Ghost Rider, and Tangled Web. He didn't use Tangled Web. But it seems to be doing the trick. I don't know exactly how much better efficiency-wise it is. But he's having no problems. Still at full health, other than Black Knight. But it does the trick. Good call by my opponent. Well played, Achilles. For his final attack, Superior 6 against the mutants. It's been around for a year, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be around for another year. If you have mutants, take in Superior 6 if you can. This fight is pretty textbook. Speaks for itself. Nobody needs any help. Which will be a good time for me to say, I would appreciate it greatly if you like, shared, subscribe. It does me a world of help. And if you'd like to join me live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for my Crucible attacks, you can find me on Twitch at Real Bubba Hotep. I also have a Discord channel, and the links are in the bio below. I'd love for you to stop in and chat with me for a while. But if you see this, it's going a little bit longer than I would have expected. Usually the fight is done by now. Those pesky little pings from Gambit can be a pain, which is why Mysterio is so good. You put blind on Gambit and everything misses. But because of Bishop and having Cyclops, Forge gets the speed up. And that can make things a little bit more difficult. They're still going to win. Don't get me wrong, it just takes a little bit longer. Stuck behind the taunt again. I wondered why the efficiency was so bad on this, and now I see why. Finally getting Gambit away so Vulture doesn't die. That's a good thing. Forge dying. Forge really is the MVP on this. If you can keep Forge alive, you have a shot. I believe that's the third time Green Goblin Classic went, and now it's just down to Forge. And it's all she wrote. As for my final match of the week, I'll be going up against Flame. Now, Flame is coming in at a cool 159 million, and I believe, yep, I'm at 131 million. Puts me at a 28 million deficiency. So we'll see how it goes. Taking a quick peek at his defenses. Room 2 and Room 3, I would have switched those around. Odin Illuminati does so much better in 2, and Sus does so much better in 3. Efficiency should be on my side. Since they have Black Bolt in there, I'm going to take Guardian in. I'm not going to mess with Echo this time. If I go in with Guardian right off the bat, hopefully it'll give me the offense up that I need to be able to take Captain Britain out. I'm a little bit worried about Ultimus here. If I remember correctly, Kahori will go first, and Black Knight will be able to retaliate and get her down before Ultimus can come in. So hopefully Black Knight can do what he's supposed to do before Ultimus deletes him. No Mephisto, which makes it troubling. That'll be easy. Weaver will give me a little bit of a hard time, but nothing too difficult. And I can go in most likely with Cabal Emma in here. So we'll plan it out in the morning. And once again, thank you for stopping in and spending a little bit of time with me. And until next time, keep on MSFing.